Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to Yaakov Akwat out there, pursuing this truth diligently, coming at you once again with another lesson. And I think this one's going to be titled something along the lines of, Don't let Esau get in your head. Natural hair is beautiful hair. All right, something along those lines. And I've been holding on this one for a while. And I've had this video right here, saved for quite a, like maybe about two weeks. And I wanted to find the right time to get into it. And I was scrolling through my Instagram saves, and I got it. And I also downloaded a bunch. I actually got these on my phone. I downloaded them because, yesterday I had to do, over 6 or 8, 9 different edits. And just because it kept on, popping me out of my saves and reloading. I didn't want to go through all that, so I actually just saved these just down into my camera roll. So, and they're easier to go through, with the only downside is you don't get all the comments, right? But I looked through some of them, and I got some of the some comments screenshotted. So, this is by this individual, at stop_playing_Trey, or stop playing_Trey. So stop_PLAYINN_TRE. So stop playing Trey. And I guess he's on Threads as well, Instagram and Threads. But basically what he does is, you can see, as most Jake men do, all right, he has his natural hair, wears his natural hair, and basically he's a natural hair advocate. And he's not only a natural hair advocate, he's basically a advocate for non-colonialism, okay, and the non-restructuring of so-called black women into being like white women, all right, whether it's feminism, whether it's hair, whether it's style, whether it's whatever it happens to be, all right, basically getting white women away, basically damn near, getting so-called black women away from envying and wanting to be and look and dress and act like the so-called white woman and get involved in their things, right? So you can go and look at his page. You can get entranced looking at his page for, hours on end, because there's just so much content. And it also really gives you a good idea of, how the so-called black woman acts these days, all right, which is another reason, all right, why black women need to come up out of that colonialist mindset, because that's all the Esau shit. All right, Esau was the first one, Shedemites, all right, female Edomites. These Shedemites, as they're called, right, in a joking manner, they were the first ones that would really openly disrespect their husbands. Now, we know it now to be so-called black women. Black women are known as being the most disrespectful women. Black women are known as the ones that hit their men. Black women are known as all these different things that weren't originally their customs, all right? Where do you think black women learned that from? They learned it from the white women, okay, and the suffrage movements that the white women were doing, all right, and all these different things that the white women were doing, the hair from the white women, and the eyes from the white women, and the way they talk from the white women, and the way they want to, go and cheat on their men from the white women, and doing all these different things. They're all from the so-called white woman, all right, and the sisters learned it, all right, the so-called, primarily, Southern Kingdom, so-called Negroes, all right, which would be the tribes Judah, Levi, and Benjamin, all right, the Judah, so-called black, Levi, the Haitian, and Benjamin, of course, the Islanders, Jamaica being the big one. And yeah, man, it's just, they learned all those different things. And then the thing is, I mention that because I don't mention all the tribes, all 12 tribes. I mentioned those 3 specifically because those are the ones that make up what would be called so-called black women. Even though Dominicans and some of the other tribes look so-called like Negro, they're technically not. They're Latino or Latina, and they're part of the Northern Kingdom. They're still brothers and sisters, all right, nothing wrong with them. But, this is a concept that we see primarily with black women, all right? But don't think you're left out, because the Northern Kingdom women are starting to become more like black women, okay? The Northern Kingdom men are starting to become more like black men, okay? There's no SA, no Vato, all right? No Holmes anymore. Now it's just the N-word and cuh and blood, all right, and twin, all right? And there's no, Spanglish or, Mexican, so-called, Mexican-American slang, Chicano slang no more. It's just literally all just Jake slang, all right, as they call it, AAV, African-American Vernacular English, excuse me, which is the term that they put on it, right? Or, well, before it was called that, it was just called Ebonics, right? So, and before African-American, it was Afro-American. But, things change and evolve over time. And, that's why people, when they hear say the term so-called Negro, well, that's what it started, it was N-word, and then it was Negro. Then it just evolved and evolved and evolved and evolved. And at the end of the day, it's the same shit. All right? If you wipe your ass front to back or back from front, you're still wiping your ass. It's the same shit at the end of the day. All right? It's the same shit. You're doing the same shit at the end of the day. Just because you're doing it in a funky new method don't mean you're doing anything special. All right? So, there's different ways they're going to get things done in a different way. They might not be as effective, but they're still being done. Okay? They reverted back to calling so-called black people colored. All right, that went away, and now they came out back with, years ago, people of color. First, it was bad to call people colored. Now it's people of color, and it's back again. So it's just completely ridiculous, man. It's just, basically follow your leaders, what they're having you do. Again, that's why you can't let Esau get in your mind about black hair, or black hair is ugly, it's this, it's that. I mean, that's why the Crown Act had to be put into place in the first place, because they were trying to discriminate in the workplace and the schools and all these different places. You can't do this, you can't do this, because Esau doesn't understand anything about black hair. Okay, so-called. I'll just say Afro hair, because I don't want to keep on throwing that black term around. That's one of their terms. Black means void of light, white means full of light. Well, that's why they call you that. All right, your skin ain't black. Asphalt's black. All right, there's no black people in the world. No one's the color of asphalt. All right, you can be very dark brown. All right, or if the Africans, they're like a brownish purple, but no one's actually black, and no one's white. All right, they're red. They're pinkish red. All right, they're red people. Okay. But then they call the Native American the red man. But they're not the red man. They're brown. Just like everybody else in the world except Esau. Okay? Esau is the minority. All right? If you look at that, what is the percentage of white people in the world? Because there's not many. What percent of the world they say is black? 10 to 16% of the world's population is white. Okay? There you go. So, and then what's the majority race in the world? They're going to say Asian, technically. Yeah, that's what they say. But it's Jake, because we're as the sand of the sea. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play this video. But you don't let Esau get in your mind, man, because they'll get in your mind, say black hair is horrible. Afroic hair is natural. Jake hair is what I'll say. Is ugly, it's this, it's that, and it's not. And they got the black women, so-called, now, and I'll say black women because they are void of light. And they got them all defending, colonialism. They got them defending imperialism and colonization, all right, with everything. They want to have, these so-called black women they want to have. And the Latinas are doing it too. Latinas are doing it too, all right? They dye their hair blonde and wear blue contacts just as much as the black woman does it. I've seen it. And they use skin lightening cream, just hell, if not more, than the so-called black women do. Okay, and they hate being dark. Okay, they hate being dark. Hell, the guy I worked with, he was talking. He's a Mexican guy. He talked about how he didn't want to get any darker because he's been in the sun. He's been getting darker. Issachar out there, they really fucking hate themselves, man. I can't say necessarily for the rest of the Northern Kingdom. All right, but I know Issachar for sure. They hate being dark. Okay, I've heard it from him. I heard it from another younger lady. All right, she didn't like being dark. All right, I heard it from another girl that's not good about being dark. Another one. Now, hell, a bunch are coming to mind now that I think about it. They don't want to be dark. Nobody wants to be dark, and that's that colonialism. All right, that's that. They got it in your mind, man. So anyway, there's quite a few of these videos we got, so I'm just go ahead and play them one by one, and I'll try not to interrupt. So here you go. Let's check this out.
Because no, seriously, what does your mom's hair look like?
It looks like my hair.
Okay, so why are you saying this?
Because black women do not wear their own hair today.
We do wear our own hair. Why do you care though?
Because I want to see, or all black men want to see, black women wear their own
You know
hair.
that's not true.
But I
Especially
wear,
not down
but I
here.
wear
You
my
know that
own
is not
hair.
true.
A lot of people
You know that is not
hair.
true.
A lot of
And then if you could prefer which one, natural hair or fake hair, what would you pick? Natural. What do you say?
You gotta go natural.
Natural.
Okay. Natural. Natural.
What do you say?
Natural.
Natural.
Personally, I prefer natural.
Get just
Okay.
the messy blonde, you feel me? Lip gloss, that's all that.
I'm gonna keep it above. Everything got to be natural. You feel me? We ain't doing no fake shit. We ain't doing none of that bullshit. If you can't come as God sent you to me, as real as you come, I don't even need you.
All
But
hair.
the thing that I hate, bro, is women that put wigs on their head, bro. I don't like wigs, bro.
He's white and he's saying it.
There you go. So that's the first one right there. And that's the thing, no
Why are
accountability.
you asking about my mom?
Because
Sorry.
I no, no,
No accountability. All right, I say no, they don't. No, they don't. And I've heard that a lot. Everybody's heard that. Men don't like it when we have this. Men don't like it. I mean, you don't know what men like. Women literally do not know what men like. Women are basically a bunch of homosexuals if you really want to get down to it. And you say, well, that's a little crazy to say. No, women are basically a bunch of homosexuals. They're constantly caring what other women think about them. They constantly want other women to think they look hot. They want other women to see their tits. They want other women to see their ass. They want other women to want to be like them. They want other women to envy them. They want her to. That's fucking gay. That's some feminine. That's like homosexual femininity, right? That's some crazy shit, right? Is it true that in a study, men preferred women without makeup, but women preferred women with makeup, right? And it should say yes. Yes. Studies, no, that's a lie. It says, yes, studies show both men and women prefer less makeup than is typically worn, but women prefer slightly more makeup than men do. It says a famous 2014 study published the Quarterly Journal of Experimental Psychology found that both sexes preferred models wearing about 40% less makeup than full application, though women chose slightly higher accounts than men. When I saw it, wasn't slightly higher. They chose the women that were caked, right? Preferred amount. It says both men and women chose images where roughly 60% of full makeup looks the most attractive. So, yeah, 40%. Gender difference. Female participants preferred slightly more makeup than the males did. Misconceptions. Both men and women incorrectly assumed that men would prefer a heavier, full makeup look. And I think they're changing the studies and shit, because the one I remember is that men preferred almost no makeup, and then women preferred quite a decent amount of makeup. And, you know, these AI overviews are getting more skewed, right? That's what they're doing. All these data centers and all the surveillance, the flock cameras and all this shit, they're just constantly, you know, and now the thing is that they're showing that technology, like that's in our phone, basically the way it looks into your eyes can actually read your mind, okay? And they're saying that I've actually had it happen once. It could have been a coincidence, but they're saying, this one guy was saying, if you don't think it's true, what you need to do is, like, for the whole day before, just think about something. Think about something you haven't thought about in a long time, a product, right, that you really need. And then, you know, think about buying it. And then you'll see, that day or the next day, it'll pop up. All right? You didn't say anything. You didn't speak it out loud. It's not something you were going to buy. You haven't looked it up recently. Just think of something. Think of something you don't even need, right? But just think in your mind, oh, yeah, if I saw that, I'd buy it. And it'll pop up. It will. So, and they're doing all that type of shit with the, biometric and eye scanning and all that. They're doing all this different types of technology, man. And if you watch a lot of those, CIA whistleblowers, they'll talk about, technology out there that most Americans, let alone the whole world, doesn't even know that exists, man. So, anyway, back on track. All these studies, they're skewing them, they're changing them. They're, that's what they do. They're liars. Esau's a bunch of liars. We've done plenty of lessons on them being liars. So that's what they do, and they're deceivers. So one of the best way to deceive is get all these people addicted to AI. That's why I really try to stay away from AI unless I'm just pulling scripture results. get all these people addicted to AI, and then just start feeding them bullshit. All right, half the time, like AI is just not real anymore. I mean, it's just some bullshit that they made up. Okay, it'll be like, what's you'll ask it a question like, what's the capital of Washington? And it'll say Dallas, and I'm like, no, capital of Washington isn't Dallas. And it'll be like, you're absolutely correct. I was wrong, and I made the wrong assessment. You were correct when you said that the capital of Washington is not Dallas. That's for Texas. I think, is Dallas Texas, or is it technically capital of Dallas? Capital of Texas. Austin, actually? Yeah, it's Austin. Okay, so, but yeah, they'll say shit like that, and it'll be like, you're absolutely right for calling me out on that, and they're wrong all the time. You know, they're wrong all the time. If you look up shit like, you know, how many O's are in strawberry, you know, people show that. How many O's in strawberry? Let's see if it'll glitch out. There you go. So it did mention it though. It said AI models famously struggle to count the 3 R's in this word due to how text is processed. There are completely no zeros inside this berry. So that's what they say. So let's see how many R's in strawberry. Let's see if it glitches out. Models process language using tokens, chunks of words, rather than individual letters. To an AI, the word strawberry might look like 2 or 3 numbers in its code because it doesn't naturally see the letter spelling it out. It can easily miscount them unless it uses a specific coding tool to double check. There you go. That's the whole thing. It's just like how you can glitch it out. I don't know if you can show. Seahorse emoji. That's what it's gonna do. Here, watch, I'll show you. Show me a seahorse emoji. If they fixed it, it might not work, but yeah, they fixed it. Yeah, no, it won't work. They fixed it because it used to glitch. I used to glitch the fuck out, like, pretty bad. It'd be like, here's one. Oh, wait, nope, that's not it. Oh, shit, that's not it either. Wait, that's not it. Here, let me just drop it. That's not it. And it would completely just get in this crazy-ass loop. Okay, it would just get this crazy-ass loop. Look, ChatGPT crashes out, having a Mandela effect. If you go look at it, you know. Yeah. It says, real answer, yes, there's a seahorse emoji. All right, no bit this time. Yes, the seahorse emoji is, and it just gets in this loop and loop and loop and loop and loop, right? And that's what happens. But anyway, they use all these different types of things to obscure information. But the fact is that women prefer things, they think that men prefer what they prefer, and really they prefer what other women prefer, okay? And other women prefer whatever the white woman prefers, primarily, right? Because that's the one that puts all the fashion, Cosmopolitan, and Vogue, and all this different types of shit. That's who they're watching. That's who they're listening to, and that's it, man. That's it. And a lot of black women want to say, oh, you know, we're the trendsetters. We set the trends. Well, yeah, but you don't really use them. All right, you don't really use them because if you go and look at all those modeling networks and shit, especially the ones in the 2000s, all black women just dressed like white women. Every single one of them. All right, every single one of them. They just dressed like a bunch of white women. They talked like women, talked like white women, dressed like white women. All right, had straight hair like white women. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to be white women. Okay, so that's what they're into. But then they'll claim all the time that that's not true. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. No, it is true. Okay, and it's because they want to be like white women. All right, whether they like the guy said. I think maybe he didn't say it in that one, but he says in another one, whether you think so or not, okay, you're being like a white woman. So this is Proverbs 3:31, and it says, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Now, there's a couple scriptures later on in this lesson that we're going to get on, is that, say you don't think that I'm not envying the oppressor, I'm not envying well, you're envying someone else who is, okay? You might not be following after the oppressor, but you're following after someone who is, or you're following someone who is following someone that is following someone who is envying the oppressor, all right? Because you saw your girlfriend do it because her girlfriend did it, and her girlfriend did it because Trippie Redd did it, and Trippie Redd, because Sexy Red did it, and Sexy Red's doing it because Nicki Minaj did it, and Nicki Minaj did it because she hates herself, and she hates herself because she wants to be a white woman. There you go. Long fucking thing that you might not think individual, because you'll hear women, oh, I don't hate myself, I'm not trying to be like, well, you might not be, but the person that you got this from, that got this from, that got this from, that got this from, does. Okay, so let's continue on with a couple more of these videos. Where were we? Here we are. Well, here's a screenshot. This is a black woman who hates herself right here. So this is from this lady, Starring Amber, and you can see that in her photo, she made sure to have her curly hair out. All right, probably had to change it because she probably got cut. But this is Starring Amber. It says black women were wearing silk presses in the 90s, and y'all call it 90s fine. Shut your bitch ass up and go build something useful like white men. Okay, so that shows you what these black women are like. All right, you say, oh, I don't want to be like a white one. Well, you're up the goddamn white man's ass. All right, you're the same type of people that say, oh, if I want to struggle, I can struggle by myself, or if I want to be broke, I can be broke by myself. Or why would I get with a slave? Why wouldn't I get with the colonizer and the conqueror? I want someone strong. Why would I get with someone who was a slave and allowed themselves to just be stolen? You know, that you do all this different types of shit, and then you end up alone, and you wonder why nobody wants to be with your fucking ass. All right, and you got your fucked up hair. Your hair's fucking falling out, looking all fucked up. All right, you got those wigs on that smell like fucking shit. All right, you fucking stink. All right, half the fucking time. So ain't nobody want to be with you. All right, you can go and be with the white men. Right? Well, go ahead and let them destroy themselves. So this Stop Playing Trey, the guy that makes these videos, he comes back to this Queen of Self-Hatred back in my comments. How come you have no posts with your hair natural? And I think what she had to do is she had to go and do her hair like that, which I can't really tell from the photo what's going on with it. It looks like natural hair in that sense, but who knows at this point. I haven't seen her page, and I'm not going to go and look at it either. I really don't care enough. And then this lady, Codeine Crazy, lovely black woman, Codeine Crazy. If you don't know what codeine is, that's cough syrup, codeine cough syrup. Okay, like activists and shit. Okay, that's like lean. Okay, codeine Crazy. High class woman right there. It says, wait, I'm confused. When you're not. It says, what does it matter? Why does it matter? If white women never met African women, they would never put box braids in their hair. I agree, but I don't. I agree, but I don't. We're judged either way, black, white, Asian, etc. Y'all just don't like women. No, it's not that we don't like women. It's just that we don't like no rat-ass, fucking red-looking ass bitch. All right, and all I'm saying, all the men agreed. All the men agreed. Must we play the video one more again? Must we have to go and do it? Because we can do it. Here, let's do it again. Let's skip all the way back to the back. Let's go right here. Where were we? Let's go play it from here.
All black men want to see black women wear their own hair.
But I would know that is not hair. A lot of women know that is hair. A lot of.
And then if you could prefer which one, natural hair or fake hair, what would you pick? Natural. What do you say? Natural. Okay, natural. Personally, I prefer natural. Okay.
Messy blonde, you feel me? Lip gloss, that's all that.
I'm keeping it above. Everything got to be natural, you feel me? We ain't doing no fake shit. We ain't doing none of that bullshit. If you can't come and God sent you to me as real as you come, I don't even need it.
But the thing that I hate, bro, is women that put wigs on their head, bro. I don't like wigs, bro.
He's white and he's saying it.
So there you go. All right, next video.
Is it okay for white people to wear like afros?
The hypocrisy too, right? So black women can wear white people hair, but so black women can wear white looking hair, but white people can't wear black looking hair, which is fucking stupid. All right, you know, that's just hypocrisy. And you can say whatever. You can say cultural appropriation, whatever. If you don't want white women looking like black women, then why do you as black women want to look at like white women? It's just ridiculous. You know, no, everyone will get mad at a white girl because she went and got box braids, but no one's getting mad at black women for going and straightening their hair out and making it all fucking straight and shit. All right, putting all these crazy ass colors in it, right? Like red and shit. You don't have red hair. Look at this hair. That's not a hair color right here that you usually see on Jake. All right, it's like a very light brown. Can it happen? Yes. Like, I don't know if I have this video. It might be in this one. It might be in one of the ones I saved. It might not be. It might have been one of the ones I was watching. But they mentioned, if you go and look in certain parts of Africa, or, you know, Somalians, or this or that, or those, and this, that, and the other, right? You'll see some of them can have blonde hair and blue eyes. Yeah, but that's a mutation. That's rare. Okay? Yes, that can happen. A black guy can have green eyes, too. Look at, what's his fucking name? Not Terrence. It's Terrence Howard. What's his name? That is his name. Look at Terrence Howard, right? He's got those different colored eyes. See? But, again, he's light-skinned. And what is he exactly? Let's see. African and English. Great-grandmother was Minnie Gentry. Let's see. Where he is a archaeologist, he's shamed that he endured beatings for physically abusive father. Tyrone Howard. So it says he's white. That he's black and white. There you go. So I don't know exactly where the white comes from, and I'm not going to necessarily do it, but there's some white in there. Okay, so that's where it comes from. That's not a quintessential Jake trait. It can happen. You can still be a Jake. All right, you might have had your great grandmother might have been an Edomite or something, or your grandmother could be Edomite. There's a million different ways that could happen. Okay, a million different ways that it could happen. But again, excuses. So anyway, they try to make it. Well, they have that. That's not. If you are a so-called black person and you just have blue eyes, nothing's wrong with that. You just ended up with blue eyes, right? You have leprosy of the eyes. Okay, I mean technically something is wrong with it, but I mean you're not off. All right, because you have it. You're not wicked because you have it, and you're not also I also want to preface it too that you're not wicked for having your hair like this, but you are definitely it depends on your motives. Okay, it depends on your motives. The hair might not make you wicked, but any woman that you see with this, I guarantee they're not going to be a decent woman. Okay, and it is off. It is wicked to envy the oppressor. So if you're doing it to look like with a woman, then you would be wicked. You would be going off. But it's not a sin to straighten your hair. That's not what we're talking about, all right? But it is a sin to envy the oppressor, and that's what these people are doing. So, again, it's not a sin if you have straight hair, all right, or anything like that, but what is your motive behind it, all right? Because regardless because really indirectly you are still envying the presser, all right? Because you saw one of your girlfriends did it, or you're just following along what you see other black women doing it, and the other black women are doing it because someone at some point wanted to be like a white woman, and that's what it is, right? So you can't be a hypocrite, man. You can't be a hypocrite and say that, oh, they can't have box braids. Meanwhile, some of those white women are actually just speckled birds, all right? But they can't have box braids. They can't go get an afro wig, but you can go and straighten your hair and put in blue-eyed contact. It's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense, all right? You're talking about cultural appropriation. Isn't that appropriating culture? Well, they've done it more. Two rights don't make a wrong, all right? If that's what you really want to get down to, it just makes you look ridiculous. But all right, go off then. Do your thing. If you want to be over here with burn-ass, toasty-ass, crispy-ass hair that falls out, you wonder why you can't grow your hair, and then you got to get sew-ins and wigs and weaves and every fucking which way. You got to wear horse hair and human hair from China and synthetic plastic hair that smells fucking weird. You got to wash it all crazy and shit. And if you want to do that, hey, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Is it okay for white people to wear like afros and culturally black hairstyles in your opinion?
If it's their natural hair, but if you're just doing it to just do it,
So they need to know the history behind like braids and stuff like that before they
don't do it at all. They don't need to know the history because they don't need to do it.
So they want to know, why is it okay for a black woman to wear straight blonde wigs, but then they can't wear braids and afros? What is?
This is a protective style. No matter the color of the wig or the wig itself, each wig is a protective style.
But did you know wigs are actually not protective at all?
How do you know?
Because it's just like a hat. Like if I put
She said wigs are a protective style. They're not a protective style because they ain't a style. Okay? Like he's about to say, it's like putting a fucking hat on. It's not a style. Okay? Twists are a protective style. Cornrows are a protective style. A wig is not a protective style. That's not a fucking style. A wig is not a fucking style. Okay? A wig is not a style. It's a hat that looks like hair. That's all it is. It's a hat that looks like hair. That's what a wig is. Okay?
a hat on, that's the same thing as a wig.
How did you find that out though?
Because number one, by just using common sense and then doing research about it too.
So what do you think makes your hair grow?
The food that you eat and the nutrients make your hair grow.
Okay.
And that's another reason why a lot of black women don't have decent hairs, because they don't eat right. Right? They're too busy just eating the most fucked up shit that they could possibly eat. Right? And that's why they can't grow their hair. They got to use all this extra shit. Because you look at the black woman, the ghetto black woman's diet, and yes, I'm going to say specifically the ghetto black woman's diet, because most of these are fucking hood rats that you see here in the back. You can tell by the way they act, the way they led their edges, the way they talk, the way they move, right? All that type shit. They're ghetto. They're hood rats, all right? They're charcuishes. And because not all black women act like them, all right? So there's a lot of black women that actually have their fucking heads on straight and have some sense. And they might be pretty. These girls might be pretty, but this girl right here that's on the camera, she's pretty, but she'd be prettier with... First of all, I don't particularly care for laid edges. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Which I know women just say, I don't give a fuck what you fan of anyway. That's fine. I'm just saying a lot of men, from what I've heard, they don't really like the laid edges. If they're tiny and fine, I like those. All right. Like with a natural hairstyle, the tiny laid edges, that's fine. But man, you got your edges laid. When I say laid edges, these bitches laying them down to their eyebrows. That shit looks stupid as fuck. It looks stupid as fuck. Baby hairs and stuff and laid edges. It's like y'all are in a constant competition to see how far you can lay them down. I mean, next thing you're gonna be laying them down your cheek and shit. It just looks stupid. It just looks stupid, man. Tiny little ones, that's fine. They look better. But again, it's like, I don't know. It's like the black woman walk around trying to look like there's some type of like fucking characterization of what basically walking around looking like a racist caricature from the fucking Jim Crow era. It's crazy, and they think they look good, and they don't. They're like, this woman's pretty. If she took off those fucking lashes and wore her natural hair, she'd probably be bad, right? And the ones in the background, I can't say the same for them, but they're too busy on fighting it and talking shit. So really, it's because they hate their hair. They don't like it. Okay, they're scared to wear their natural hair because they think men aren't gonna like it. When men in the video says they like it, all right? And I don't like fucking straight hair. Why the fuck would I like straight hair? Straight hair gets in the bed, it falls everywhere, fucking wraps all. You'd be finding it fucking wrapped around your toe and shit. All right, you find it in your boxers and shit. All right, anybody that's ever dated a white girl knows you'd be finding it fucking wrapped up in your fucking drawers and shit, man. It's horrible. All right, finding it in your shirts and shit. It's like dog hair. It gets everywhere, man. It's horrible. It's fucking horrible. All right, and then you could you could cuddle with a black girl. All right, because she's got the afro hair. The afroic hair, and it don't really get in your face like white woman hair. It be getting in your mouth and shit. It be getting up in your nose and you doing one of those and shit. You gotta move it. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's absolutely atrocious. So, but they consider that, oh, that's a good hair. It ain't good hair. All right, it's brittle and weak hair. All right, constantly got to trim dead ends. Constantly, it's falling out. It's horrible. It's not good hair. It's bad quality hair, and it ain't good. But black women want it. So anyway.
It will. It hinders the growth because your scalp isn't able to breathe like it should.
There you go.
What if a white woman said, I just want to look different, so let me put on an afro wig?
That's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing as you putting on a straight hair. Well, come on now. That is. I don't. Why did you ask me that question?
Because you seem to know a lot about wigs. I'm just asking.
Well, I do like content about hair, so I have to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, wigs, they actually have chemicals that harm black women as well. The whole point of this is we want to see black women wear their natural hair like that.
I'm perfectly fine with wearing my natural hair, but it's just so much, and I wouldn't say easier, but it's just something different. Like, just the same way I wear my hair up in a bun when it's curly, or I wear it out, it's the same thing. It's just straight. And my hair's not this long, my hair's not this covered, so I'd rather put a wig on than damage my hair more and more trying to get it to look like something that it's not.
So, what if a white woman said, I just want to look different, so let me put on an afro wig?
That's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing as you putting on a straight hair. Well, come on now. That is the exact same thing.
Why would somebody want to portray me a different thing than they're not?
Come on now. That is the exact same thing.
There you go. The thing is, looking back, this woman, she's feeling him though. She's arguing with him. She's disagreeing with him, but she's running her hands through her fake hair, looking at him. You can tell she's feeling him. All right, he's an attractive young guy. He's built. Shouldn't have a shirt off like that. Technically he's basically naked. But the other thing I did, but you could tell he's a built guy. He's not ugly guy. Handsome guy, individual, and you could tell she was feeling him. And the other thing I like about this guy's video is that when he does these interviews, he blurs the chest area. All right, that's cool. I like that because a lot of the times, it gets rid of that distraction for people to come in and not pay attention to the damn video. You focus on what's being said. All right, that's the main reason. And the other thing is, these women aren't being modest out here, and you don't know if these women have the husbands biblically, technically they're unmeritable anyway, technically, because they're just they act like the complete fucking. They act like heathens. All right, I'll say it. They act like heathens. They act like the white woman. They act crazy and uncontrollable and wild, and that's how white women act. Okay, that's how white women act. That's a white woman thing. It's a white woman custom. It's a white woman custom to cheat. It's a white woman custom to bitch your man. It's a white woman custom to try to be someone that you're not. All right, you say, what do you mean it's a white woman custom to be someone that you're not? Well, every time you see a white woman with a dark-skinned man, this man could be from goddamn fucking, let me think of a random place. He could be from fucking Rodeo Drive, California, all right? And he could have went to fucking Harvard, all right? He could have had a good upbringing. He could talk like this. Well, when I went to Harvard, the first thing that I wanted to study was economics because I understand that economics are foundational to our society. And being that economics are foundational to our society, and you can see that societies that don't have a firm grasp on economics struggle, for example, the United States of America with the rampant amount of debt that's going in, we're billions of dollars in debt, and it's affecting the, he could be talking like that, and he gets himself a white girl, and this white girl, yeah, he's smart and shit, and, yeah, I like him, and she's from fucking, I don't know, fucking, Killablack, Alabama, right? Killajigaboo, Alabama, right? fucking all these different names. Fucking all racist parts of fucking Alabama, right? And she's from there, and all the other her dad, her mom, her brothers, her sisters, they all talk like this here. You know, I've been in Kilajigaboo, Alabama, for 50 years, and I can't believe that my daughter would go and date one of those monkeys out there. But I don't know. I guess he's making money and making her happy. And meanwhile, she's over here talking like, yeah, he's my man. And where'd you get that from? You're being a caricature of just like they're being a caricature of a black woman. You're being a caricature of it. It's this fucking inbreeding of confusion. That's the thing. It's an inbreeding of confusion. You got white women trying to be like the black women that are trying to be like the white women. You got white women that are acting like black women, that black women are acting like white women, that are acting like how... It's a confusion, man. And the Lord's not the author of it, okay? And it's just crazy. But not wanting to be yourself, that's a custom of white women. Really, that's a white woman custom, okay? If you see how they act, all these different types of things. Tit jobs, who got those first? White women. BBLs, who started getting those first? White women. Lip fillers, who started getting those first? White women. All right, facelifts, who started getting those first? White women. Who started changing their accent and putting on the quote-unquote black scent? White women. Who started doing all these different types of things and putting different colors in their hair? White women. Who's the one that started wearing contacts to change their eye color? White women. Who's the one that started going to the tanning booths to change their skin color? White women. Once we go on, where do you think those customs came from? Of hating themselves and want to be like someone else? Because they really want to be like Jake. They want to be anybody but a white woman. They don't want to be an Edomite, all right? Heaven forbid, right? They don't want to be an Edomite. They don't want to look like an Edomite. They don't want to walk like an Edomite. They don't want to talk like an Edomite. They don't want to be with an Edomite. They don't want to dress like an Edomite. They don't want to eat like an Edomite. They don't want to be anything like an Edomite. They want to be like someone else. And if they're not doing it to black women, they're doing it to Asian women. If they're not doing it to Asian women, they're doing it to Latino women. If they're not doing it to Latino women, they're doing it to Muslim women. If they're not doing it to Muslim women, this is white people shit, man. All right? And the black people say, oh, no, they stealing all our shit. No, you stealing all their shit. You stealing their shit of not wanting to be yourself, okay? Because you were someone unique and special as a black woman, but you don't want to be a black woman, all right? You want to be a white woman, or you want to be an Asian woman, or you want to go and be this type of woman or that type of woman. And who does that? The white woman, okay? So regardless or not, if you think you are or think you aren't, you're fucking envying the oppressor. All right, you're envying them. You're gargling the balls of the oppressor over here. You're being a what do they call it? They call it a man. I just heard it. Man, what was it called? Because for the other one they say, oh, you're a dick rider, right? Or you're basically you're an Edomite dick rider, or you're dick riding the white man. There's another one. It's called oh my gosh, it's a feminine version. What did they call it? Like it was clit something. You're a let me see if I can find it, because this shit was fucking hilarious. It's like clit something. Man. Pussy Ride. No, that wasn't it. It had clit in the name. What was it called? Not Clit Rider? No. It might have been Clit Liquor. I don't know. But it was funnier. Clit Rider. Clit Glazer. I don't remember what it was. It was fucking hilarious, though. It was fucking hilarious. I saw another woman call it in Instagram, and I can't remember what it was. But basically, when these women are, basically, clit licking, basically, Slovakia for the vulgarity. I'm going to try to keep it more Sabbath appropriate. But, these other women, You know, they're just glazing them, just looking up to him, and it's just like, oh, she's just so beautiful. You know, I want to be just like her. It's just fucking ridiculous, man. You know, get off her clit, all right? Instead of get off her dick. Get off her clit, man. Get off the titty, okay? Let her go. You know, you're over here fucking idolizing these other females that don't. It's just embarrassing. It really is just embarrassing. But anyway, one more time, Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. So. And so this is Proverbs 37:1-2. It says, Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. With wicked people, whether they be Edomites or wicked Jakes or whoever they are, you shouldn't be envying these people, man. This is the NLT version over here. It says, don't worry about the wicked or envy those who do wrong, for like grass they will soon fade away, like spring flowers they soon wither. These people, look, they're withering away. These people ain't even doing well, man. All right, you want to be like these white women who have their fertility rates are down through the fucking dumps. All right, nobody wants to be with them. Everybody wants to be with the so-called black woman. All right, now, all right, despite how they're the most least desirable women. Okay, they don't really want to be wifed up, but all the men want to get with them. Okay, all the men want to get with them. But white men specifically, not really the other nation men. But Edomites specifically like to get with the Jake women. Really because they're just like their women at the end of the day. All right? They're argumentative, combative. Okay? They call you all sorts of names and shit, bring up issues. And they're just like the white women because they're the product of the white woman's actions, man. Okay? You got to realize the black woman, while Jake been going off, Eve went off in the garden. Esau really started the formulation of what we have today, right? What we have today. They started the women's suffrage movement. Okay, that wasn't black women. Black women joined into the women's suffrage movement. Meanwhile, the white women, Edomite women that were in the suffrage movement didn't want rights for black women. They were specifically fighting for equality rights for white women, Edomite women. They didn't want black women, but black women joined up anyway, like a bunch of dummies. Right? Saying, oh, we want part of this too. We want part of this too. Right? Just stupid. Anyway.
And my hair's not this long, my hair's not this color, so I'd rather put a wig on than damage my hair or try to get it to look like something that it's not. So just because someone wears straight hair doesn't mean we're trying to be like.
Now this woman, with this video, pay close attention to the woman's mannerisms on the right, because she's, from what I can tell, she looks natural. Hell, these days you don't even know this bitch could be wearing a fucking natural wig. All right, a natural looking wig. You don't even know anymore. And they do make them, because I was actually in this Mexican mart the other day with my wife, because it was over by my job. Well, not my job, over area that I was at for the training for it. And we went in this Mexican mart to look around, and one of the markets had an afro wig I saw, right? So, and she even pointed it out. So, I don't even know anymore. But if that's a wig, it's a damn good wig, because it looks like natural hair to the T.
Because someone wears straight hair doesn't mean we're trying to be polite.
But if a white woman perked her hair to an afro, don't you think she would be trying to be polite?
Only because her hair can't naturally do that.
But your hair can't naturally go straight unless you heat it up.
But no matter. Get it? Like, yeah, they can't just add heat to their hair and then make it like.
Yeah, but that's still like damaging it, like you're killing it. It's like,
No, if you do it the right way.
And it's true. It's true. It is damaging the hair. All right, it even damages white hair. Okay? It even damages white hair. It damages all hair. Okay, putting heat like that in your hair damages your hair. It does it to white people as well. Okay, I used to straighten my hair when I was in high school because I had long hair, and it was all, the emo phase and all that different types of shit. You want to have that long hair and having it straightened down and shit. It damaged my hair. All right? The consistency of your hair changes, man. Like, it's that, like, crispiness to it. It's like, and it stinks. Makes your hair stink, too. I dated a lot of girls that had, back in the era, no, I know, because I was big in the emo era, right? Dated all the emo girls and shit, and their hair stunk, man. Every single one of them. some of the white girls' hair didn't stink too bad because they put that all that body spray in their goddamn hair. But as soon as that goes out, you can tell. And they got to put that in there because they straighten their hair so much, right? They straighten their hair so much that it has this like burnt smell. And black woman's hair does the same thing. All right, black woman's hair does the same damn thing. Okay, and it actually smells worse on a black woman 9 times out of 10 because the black woman really got to crisp the fuck out of their hair. They got to, like, bake the shit out of their fucking hair. White women, their hair is already pretty much straight. They might have a little bit of a loose wave, so they just, do a little boom, bam, a couple passes through. But black women, they'd have to do several passes. They have to have that fucking vacuum sucker on the goddamn end, and then, sucking their hair out and doing all this type of shit and straightening and flattening and curling, and not curling, but getting the curls out over and 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 over again. And by the time you're done, it's just it stinks, man. The whole house fucking stinks. It smells like shit, and it burns your hair. The hair's falling out. It's not strong. It's got a weird odor. It's crispy, and it's just it does that even with white people's hair. So when you have to do it extra to get your hair straight, because Jake hair is really curly, the more curls you have, the more heat you have to put on it, and the longer you have to go. The more heat you put on, the longer you go, the more it's going to fall off, it's going to be brittle, it's going to change that hair consistency, and it's going to stink. All right, so you got to try to put some other shit in to hide that stink. It stinks, man. It smells like burning hair. Burning hair don't smell good. Anybody that's ever had a lighter run up in their skin or hit you on the eyebrows when you're doing a grill, it smells like that. It smells like burnt fucking toasted ass hair, and it stinks. It doesn't smell good, man. It does not smell good. And it do. Look at how she nodded. Watch, she's going to crack a smile. Look at that. Look at that smile. Look, she did the nod. You can see in her eye. Look, she looked him up and down. Look at that. Look at that. She likes him. All right, and she looks prettier than the other girl, too. But that's just preferences too, right? I like my girls darker skin and with the natural hair, all right? For me, you better look like a fucking blaxploitation film, right? If you go look at let's go show you, what's that movie? The Coffee. Right, she ain't the prettiest, but you get the style, right? There's more blaxploitation films. The Woman and I'ma Get You Sucker. Let me see. No, they're not in that one. What's that fucking movie I'm thinking of? Blaxploitation. Coffee was one of them. There's a bunch of them. Some, again, didn't have their natural hair, but a lot of them did. Man, there's a movie I'm thinking of. I can't remember the name. Actresses. There you go. Look at this. There you go. That's how a woman's hair should look. All right. That Lauryn Hill. I mean, that's the best way to do it right there. No tattoos. No nothing. Okay. Natural bodies. Okay. That's the way to do it. Look. Boom. Look Look at that. That's the way to do it. Look, if you look up, here's a way to do it. 70s black women. And again, a lot of them still had that fake hair. But this is boom. That's how you should look right there. Boom. She's a little weird in the face, look a little Down syndrome, but you know, she got the spirit. I'm just picky. I'm picky as hell. Here we go. Boom. Come on now. There. These are what I'm talking about. These images. Right? Like this. If I could zoom. Like that. Like that. You know, that's a style, man. That's like one of the most attractive styles, those 70s black women. Right? When they dress like this. Right? Of course, they should have more, you know, covering up at the top. But yeah, man, you know, that's the style right there. That's the style right there. This. Hey, look at her, man. All right, and the darker the better. Not that there's anything wrong with light-skinned girls. I like them too. You know, but you just look, man. That's how a woman should look. All right, this is AI, but you know, that's a good example. Here we go. Boom, look at that. Look at that. All right, except the one that went and dyed her hair blonde, or you know, she could have that rare condition where your hair goes white. Here's another one. It's way better. Here's another one. Look at that. Yep. There's another one. There's another one. Right? You might not have really afro hair. You might have looser curls. That's fine too. You can do this. This is awesome. We like this as well. Right? Look at this. She's bad. Look at her. She's bad, man. Pretty in the face, ain't got the fake eyelashes on, ain't got too much makeup on. She got the nice hair. All right, she ain't overly naked. I mean, she's got the short top on, but other than that, if it was a full length top, I mean, she'd be doing good, man. You know, and her style looks nice. You know, the pants are fashion oriented. They're fashion friendly, look good and shit. Yep. Jake even used to look better. I mean, look at the Jake man. He looks a little ridiculous with those pants on. But the hair and all that, there was the 70s, though, so everybody looked a little bit ridiculous. But, yeah, man, look. Bad, man. Bad. Look. Anyway, but they've convinced you that it's better to look like this. They've convinced you it's better to look like this. What the fuck is this? None of these women are attractive. What is that? So this is that Paris Hilton, Britney Spears, what's that bitch's name? I can't remember that bitch's name. I know who she is. Is that Christina Aguilera? I think it is. I don't know who this bitch is, though. But look at these. Well, they're pretty, but they're not white women that we're talking about. Can't remember who she is, but she's bad as hell on the left there. Of course, that's Beyonce, but let's see. There's a girl on the right. What was her damn name? Tamar. Who was the... They look different now. Anyway, the girl on the right was a baddie. I can't remember. Can't remember her damn name, but anyway. And then, you know, they went and fucked it all up. But, I mean, you know, they got the not their real fucking hair going on, of course, you know. But, still look good. I mean, she would look better with her natural hair. But, you know. And then you're going to tell me that, I mean, you could choose any of these. I'm not a big fan. I think Beyonce look a little weird, but I'd choose any of these three over this. What the fuck is that, man? Like a fucking gremlin, man. You know? Again, this over let's see. Kim K in 2000s, she was kind of bad, kind of not. I mean, no. Avril Lavigne is, no. What's her name? The Asian girl, she played, Paris, or London Tipton, in, Sweet Life. What's her name? I can't remember. It starts with a T or some shit. She's bad, but again, she's an Asian girl. But and then who do we have here? Rihanna. I've never thought Rihanna was attractive. Never thought it. But this is, the style went changed. But it's funny. It's funny to me now that you go and look up 2000s women and it's showing a lot of black women because usually it would show a lot of white women, but it's not now. It's funny to me. Did I click on something specific? Maybe it's because I went down through the Destiny's Child, but let's see. Britney Spears, she had her eras. She had her moment. She was okay, like this. Okay, nothing more, nothing less. Just okay. And who was this? What was her name? That was Lindsay Lohan. Not really attractive. None of those women are attractive. She's pretty. None of those women are really attracted to me. Ugly. Mid. The girl right here is the only semi-ish pretty one. Is that Rihanna? Look, I can't even tell who the fuck that is. Look kind of like Rihanna, but fucked up. Everybody back then looked the same. Yeah, no. Just nope. None of these women are, again. But this became the model for beauty. This shit. This. And I mean, I like a girl that wears a band t-shirt, don't get me wrong, but I mean, if you take that off and you just have a regular shirt, okay, she's a woman. She's not particularly too ugly, she's not particularly too pretty, she's just there. She kind of got a really sharp jaw, I'll tell you that, But anyway, I mean, she should be wearing her hair, but at least, she's got the curves, right? Which, in the 2000s, the curves were... That shit looked ridiculous. But in the 2000s, curves were... This is pink. That's who it was. I had to see it in another photo to let me know who it was. That's pink. But, yeah, they had... That's when all the fucking shit went ridiculous. You had to go and... The liposuction was big and being as skinny as you possibly can. Now we're coming back in that era. And maybe we're coming out... I don't know, with the whole... What do they call that shit? What's that fucking pill that everybody's been taking? I don't remember what to call the shit, but yep, that's pinnacle of beauty, everyone. Pinnacle of beauty. We got one more, and this is the one. I'm gonna get a couple scriptures first, and then we're gonna come back to that one. So let's go and get. It's not this one. Yeah, it is. So this is Proverbs 24:1. It says, "Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them," not around them, not like them. Okay, and this goes for women as well. All right, not going around wicked women or designed to be like them either. Okay, Jeremiah 10:2. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen." We all know this one, right? This is a popular one, Jeremiah 10:2. "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them." And I wanted to get this one too, because sometimes it's not the white women. Sometimes you want to look like the Asian women, right? All that kawaii style and shit, right? Now, again, we made a lot of the different styles, man. We made a lot of different styles, okay? And this doesn't mean... There's a lot of styles that overlap, okay? For example, blue jeans and a band t-shirt. I wear that a lot. It's a white guy style, all right? But Jake do it as well. Depends on the era. But there's things that overlap, and then there's things that are quintessentially like, for example... I'm not going to go and wear white short shorts that go above my knee with loafers, all right, and a button-up polo. Because, first of all, that style looks fucking stupid. All right, and secondly, that's just a white guy style. That's a gay, rich, yacht gay style. It looks fucking dumb. Never liked it. It's stupid. It's even more prominent if you have the pink polo on with the white short shorts with a pair of, like, Hey Dudes on. If you ever seen Hey Dudes. And I'd wear a pair of Hey Dudes, but not with that outfit. Right? These. All right, put those on with it. All right, you be looking like a white gay man that makes good money for himself in a heartbeat. All right, make sure you get that crew cut. Okay. If you have straight hair, right? If you don't have Jake hair, make sure you get that crew cut. Get the crew cut, right? And then go and get the crew cut and then wear that outfit. And you'll be on the straight way for looking like a homosexual. But that's just normal white guy dress. There's guys walking around that looking like that aren't even gay, but it looks hella fruity. So let's get, how many else do we got? We got one more scripture. So what we're going to get is, let's just validate some of his claims, right? So I looked up harmful chemicals, and I've heard about this before. I've been known about this, and most people should. This isn't something that's been under the goddamn a rock somewhere. This is known. Harmful chemicals in black hair products, right? And yes, it's going to be in some other things as well, because again, they're going to try to harm Jake. But notice what it's primarily in. It says, research shows that hair care and styling items marketed towards black women and girls frequently contain endocrine-disrupting chemicals. Carcinogens, that causes cancer. All right, endocrine. What happens if your endocrine? Look, what happens if your endocrine system is messed up as a lady? Irregular periods, unexpected weight shifts, constant tiredness, and we see this with a lot of women, right? They have irregular periods, their weight's jumping up, and they're constantly tired. I'm tired. I've never met anybody more tired than a woman, okay? I go to work at 8-hour, 9-hour goddamn shift, all right, doing heavy shit, and a woman be more tired than me somehow. I don't know how that is. Any woman. It's not just one particular woman. All women, right? They're just tired. Why are women so tired? What is going on? Why are these women so tired, man? Probably because their endocrine system is all fucked up. Look, Mr. Heavy period cycle become unpredictable, very painful, or stop. They don't get the missing periods for months on end, or they become very painful. Hey, you don't understand what I'm going through. Fertility trouble, they can't get pregnant, right? Low sex drive, not tonight, right? When I came home last night, she wasn't talking to me, right? I'm not going to sing too much because it's Sabbath, but you know. He's like, give it to me, baby, right? No, I'm not. If you think you're getting some, you wrong, right? Weight swings, gaining weight easily and losing it without trying. Fatigue, deeply tired all the time, no matter how much you sleep. Temperature, I'm too hot. Is it hot? Yeah. You feel like it's hot? It's hot. It's 63 in here, baby. What, you losing your mind? Ooh, it's cold. It's cold in here. Give me a blanket. It's 83 in here. It's hot as a motherfucker. What do you mean? You need to turn down the AC. I'm freezing. Skin and hair shifts. Adult acne. Thinning hair. Losing that fucking hair. Unwanted dark hair growth on the face and body. Getting that mustache. Right? You over here looking like Rosputia. Right? Give me a kiss, Norbit. Right? Over here looking big and mustache-like and manly. Right? Mood swings. Sudden anxiety, sadness, easily annoyed. Notice how they didn't put angry in there. Angry should be in there. Sleep trouble, waking up a lot, having trouble falling asleep. There you go. There you go. So that's endocrine, okay, or endocrine system. So it says major chemical groups. It says, that's the other thing. It says key hazardous substances include formaldehyde. They put that in dead bodies. Parabens. You got to find a lot of things that don't have those parabens. Those parabens are bad for you. And again, I'm not the most healthy guy. I try. I'd say I try to be. I like to be, but I got to fix my diet again anyhow. But it says key hazardous substances include formaldehyde, parabens, and phthalates, which are linked to significant health concerns. Formaldehyde and formaldehyde releasers found in chemical hair straighteners, relaxers, and some edge controllers and glues. There you go. And that's what these women do. They have straightened hair. Or they either straighten it out with some process. Okay. Either they're doing a silk press. They're doing straightening the fuck out of there, burning the fuck out of it, or they're using a chemical relaxer. They're doing something. Right? But a lot of women use chemical hair straightener relaxer, right? And then what do they do on top of after their little hairs all straight? They lay their edges, okay, with those same toxic glues. It says linked to uterine and breast cancers, respiratory distress, and severe scalp burns. Parabens uses preservatives in hair lotions, root stimulators known to mimic estrogen and disrupt natural endocrine and metabolic functions. Now, like, you know how it says a false balance is an abomination of the Lord? Roughly paraphrasing. My wife had a good theory. And again, she'd be making sense a lot, all right? When you have a virtuous woman, all right, that's a good thing about a woman like that. And you know, these brothers that have one, they'll attest for it. You know, they give you sense, they bounce ideas off you that you can use in your lessons that you can come up with and make you think. All right, a good woman makes you think, all right, not makes you mad. A woman is a pillar of rest, all right, and help you think. And basically, that's really what a woman's job is, to help a man think. You know, for example, sometimes men were too hot-headed and we lack emotional reasoning. So sometimes we might be too harsh and be like, hey, think of the feeling. You're like, you know what, I'm right. I'm being a little bit too harsh. Maybe I should just, tone it down a little bit. They are just a kid, or so on and so forth. And maybe I'm just going too angry off the top with it, right? Because sometimes that's the only emotion that men express is anger. So that can happen. So women can say, hey, think about it in different ways. Oh, you know what, you're right. I didn't think about his way. So, or women could be like, think about this or think about that. So anyway, hint for you women out there. But she was saying that, and I thought about it. I said, you're probably right on that. That when these women how it said it's known to mimic estrogen, okay? My wife came up with this theory, and I think the theory is correct because I have this cousin. She's not really my cousin, not my blood relation in any way, shape, or form. But she was always a bitch. She was always moody. She was always crying. She was always upset, throwing, screaming and shit, right? Well, she got her uterus removed, all right, because she wanted to make sure there was 0% chance that she ever got pregnant. Never wanted to have kids. So she got her uterus removed. And your uterus, puts that estrogen in your body, all right? And so she doesn't have as much estrogen now. She actually grows a mustache, hairier arms, all that shit. And you know what? She's not that bitchy anymore. She's not that naggy. She's not that emotional. She's not constantly crying or screaming, any of that. It took it away because you want to know why? She had too much estrogen. Again, a false balance. A false balance. Again, men have to have a little bit of estrogen. We have to have testosterone as well. We have to be, minor estrogen, testosterone heavy. Women have to be minor testosterone, estrogen heavy. All right, that's how we should be. All right, and that's the correct balance for us. To say, well, that's not an equal balance. It's not an equal balance, but it is a just balance. It's a right balance. It's a right balance for us as men and women. And we have too much. You have too much testosterone as a man, right? I got to get my testosterone under control. All right, and because guess what? You get too much, it gets turned into DTA. And you know what happens? You lose your hair. You lose your hair. And you know who has the problem the most? Benjamite and Judite men. All right, and probably Levite men as well. But I know primarily they say the worst one is Benjamite men, Jamaican men, all right, and island men, all right, that produce a rampant amount of testosterone. You know what happens? When that happens, it can fuck up your prostate too. All right, you have prostate troubles and issues and shit, but it makes you lose your hair because that extra testosterone, your body doesn't know what to do with it, so it converts it to DTA. DTA, goes and does other things. It can actually affect your heart, and the other thing it does is it makes you lose your goddamn hair because you have too much of something. Okay, you don't, and again, so it's hard to balance that when your body's producing all that shit. But some women's bodies are producing too much fucking estrogen, right? You need to stop eating all that fucking soy, and some men need to eat more soy. Right, those are things that men really shouldn't be eating like that if you don't have testosterone issues. But if you do have testosterone issues, soy milk and fucking tofu, that shit'll get you right, right? That shit'll get you right because it's very high in estrogen, right? And it'll tone that down. So you don't want to. You want to make sure everything's in a good balance. Volatile organic compounds, heavy metals. He was saying leads and shit. It says recent testing on synthetic and human braiding hair extensions detected heavy metals like lead, acetone, and carcinogens such as benzene. There you go. So another one, dangerous chemicals and fake hair and wigs. It says recent studies by Consumer Reports and Silent Spring Institute found that over 90% of tested synthetic hair and extension products contain hazardous chemicals including lead, benzene, and volatile organic compounds, VOCs. These toxins can cause cancer, hormone disruption, and skin irritation. So there you go. And I say, what happens? Skin hormone disruption symptoms. Constant tiredness, sudden weight changes, and mood swings. Again, what do the black women have? Constant tiredness, sudden weight changes, and mood swings. There you go. If you look at a white woman, they're not constantly tired like that. All women are more tired, but black women are very tired all the time. They go take them somewhere, they're very tired. I'm tired. I'm so tired. I need to sit. Give me a bench. I need to sit down. All right? Even if they're not fat, right? Or they're fat and then they're skinny, then they're fat and then they're skinny, and they're fat and they're skinny, and they're happy. And I'm like, I'm just having such a good day. How you doing? I'm good. Stop asking me so many fucking questions. Why you asking me so many goddamn questions? You just asking stupid shit. It's like, what the fuck? What's your issue? I'm sorry I overreacted, baby. I love you. What the fuck? The fuck is that all about? Black women. That's what they do. Is because all that fucking shit in the hair, all that shit in the chemicals and the food they're eating, it's fucking them up. Right? So, and we already talked about that one. So, yeah, man. So, Exodus 23 and 2. So, the last one, the fail safe. Right? Well, I'm not doing it because I want to be white. I'm not really. I'll just do it because my girlfriend does it and her sister did it. Or her hair does like that. Well, they're envying the oppressor and you're just envying them. So you're following a multitude to do evil. Exodus 23 and 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Let's make that more simple for you. NLT, you must not follow the crowd in doing wrong. When you're called to testify in a dispute, do not be swayed by the crowd to twist justice. Okay, and that's the other thing that's talking about as well. Someone says, I don't believe him. I don't believe him. Well, that's my friend, so I don't believe him either. Don't do that. All right, formulate your own opinions based on justice and righteousness, not because someone told you to. All right, or not because someone told you. Here's an example. Not someone told you it's okay to have white-looking hair to go in and purposely make your hair look like that. No, it's not. You're envying the pressure. You want to be like the white woman. It's not. Shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be, as a man, you shouldn't be being fucking outcast either. All right? That looks ridiculous as well. Cat Williams, ridiculous as well. Should not be doing it. You should not be doing any of that. All right? It's a travesty. Right? You shouldn't be doing it. It's horrible. But, teach their own. You do you. All right? You want to envy the president? You go right ahead. We can't stop you. But it looks ridiculous. So, and it's unhealthy for you. All right? If anything else, it's unhealthy for you. All right, and you look beautiful just the way you are, all right, with the hair that you were given, the Lord give you. The Lord has that hair. It's woolly hair, all right? And as the brothers have taught about, if you look at the bushes, it looks like an afro. Look at the trees, looks like an afro, all right? All these things look like an afro. It don't look like straight hair. There's only one tree that looks like, well, and I can't even say that because you know what? It looks like 3A hair, okay? And that's a weeping willow. I was going to say, no, it looks like straight hair. It don't. It looks like 3A, 3B, right? All right? Basically what it looks like. Or like, maybe it looks actually more close to 4B, right? All right, see that, and then we go back to the weeping willow. So yeah, I can't even say that. So yeah, I can't think of one tree actually that looks like a white woman hair. All right, even a weeping willow looks like Jake hair, just more looser curls. So there you go, man. Think about it. The Lord made you in His image. All right, and that you look like Him. So He has woolly hair. All right, hair like under the pure wool. All right. As mentioned in, what's that one in Daniel? That might be the one in Daniel. White like wool. Hair like in the pure wool. Hair like in the pure wool was Daniel. And then Revelation 1 and 14 or 15 was white like wool. Okay? So, both woolly hair. All right? If you look up sheep's hair, sheep's wool, and you look up Jake's hair, that's what you're getting. So, you have the hair that the Lord has. Is his hair bad hair? I think the fuck not. All right, so you shouldn't either. So that's where we're going to close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Shalom, you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Don't be swayed by these Edomite ways. Your hair is just fine the way it is. Until next one, Lord willing. Shalom.